Video 4.2, Notable Leaders and Burnout. In an earlier module, I shared with you my burnout story. I ignored symptoms and pain for months, powering through to get the job done, to the point where I landed myself in the hospital because I didn't listen to my body. In the articles that you'll read to accompany this module, you'll read the same story thread over and over again. Leaders, mostly women, that continued to ignore themselves, not practice self-care, which resulted in physical injury, medical ailments, and losing passion for their businesses. Burnout can leave us as leaders feeling hopeless, cynical, resentful, and low on energy and productivity. I remember at one point in my career in the beauty industry, I decided that my New Year's resolution was going to be to take some time off. So I carefully penciled in one day a month on my calendar that I was going to take off. One day. I look back and laugh at myself. At that point in my career, I was in a different city every day. I'd launched a product line, owned multiple salons, and I had very little time for myself. I remember taking that calendar out and with a pencil, put an X on one day on each month of the calendar. That one day was a big step for me. I think I used the first one to go to the spa. I also remember it only lasting about 3 months before I found myself quietly erasing the X that was on the calendar. About the time that I got out of the hospital and was on the mend, Arianna Huffington, who we know from being the founder of Huffington Post, had just launched Thrive Global. She had collapsed from exhaustion, hit her head on her desk, and broken her cheekbone. She started Thrive Global not only as a media company, but also as a company that can help with self-care on the corporate level. I started writing for her, and in the process, I realized that the easiest place for me to get some self-care in was when I was on the road. At first, it felt weird, but I started to enjoy finding a place to go for a quick hike, or my ultimate self-care tool, finding a place to take a quick swim. Arianna has always advised taking small micro steps towards self-care. I share some of my self-care strategies in the next module, particularly how I don't take my cell phone to bed with me at night, and today it rarely finds its way into my bedroom. However, I didn't get to 100 overnight. I had to start small. I started with 1 or 2 nights a week. I noticed how I was sleeping better and felt better in the mornings. Another bonus, I always also was more productive in the mornings because I didn't wake up and grab my phone that was on my nightstand. Sure, there's times where I regressed and I would take it to bed with me every night for a week. And then finally noting the lack of sleep, how I felt in the mornings, I would turn back to my good habits of not bringing it into my room. As leaders, we all fall prey to senses of urgency, especially during a crisis. And as a natural response to the unusual high stress levels that the pandemic has created, ignoring self-care is the worst thing that we as leaders can do. As leaders, we often let the universe control our time, and we fail to realize that we have far more control over our time and priorities than we allow ourselves to believe.